Hi everyone, I'm going to discuss a problem that was asked in Amazon. So let's first read the problem. So we are given an array of integers and a target, and we have to return the indices of two numbers such that they add up to target. Right? Let's see an example. So this is the array 2, 7, 11 and 15 and target is 9. So in this case if we pick 2 and 7 then its sum will be 9, right? So the answer will be 0 and 1. So you have to uh, be very careful in an interview because sometimes in problem might not be complete, so you have to ask follow-up questions like, is the given array already sorted or not, right? So no, array is not sorted initially, not sorted, right? Second, what if I mean, can these indices be same or different? So yeah, this can be uh, same. Let's take same example. I mean, indices can be same. So let's see an example for both of these, right? If the given array is like 7, 1, 6 and 3 and the target is, let's suppose, 12, then we can simply pick this two times, right? 6 plus 6 will be equals to 12. So in this case we can return 2 comma 2. Also answer should be in zero indexing, right? After that, if you have any other doubt or whatever you are thinking, you have to tell to your interviewer. Let's go ahead with the solution. You can come up with a brute force approach first, then explain it. So we will go step by step. We will first go with the brute force approach. Brute force approach. Right? Brute force approach is basically pick an element from here and pick two elements from this array and check whether their sum is equals to target or not. Right? So let's what we'll do, run a loop for I equals to 0 to n I plus plus and run another loop j equals to 0 j less than n j plus plus and check whether elements at index I and j sum up to target, right? If yes, we can return I and j, right? Even after this, we could not find any indices, then we can just return -1 comma -1, right? This can be anything. You can ask your interviewer. Now, what's the time complexity of this? Time complexity of this is uh, to run this loop, we have of n complexity. This will run n times, and inside this loop, we are again running again n of n loop. So we'll multiply this, so we'll get of n square. So of n square is the time complexity of this algorithm. Now you can move forward to optimize the solution. Now, the most frequently used algorithm or like technique in an interview is using hashing. So in C++, we have unordered map. Map. If you don't know about this, I will quickly explain what unordered map is. So you declare unordered map by unordered underscore map, and you provide the type of key and value. Let's see, our type is int, and we are using bool as value and map, right? Now what can you do? We can it will just define a mapping. So let's suppose we want that what's the array in our case? 7163, right? Let's write here again. So we have 7 1 6 and 3. We want to store it in the map, so we can store map of 7 point to true, map of 1 points to true, map of 6 point to true, map of 3 point to true. So for this we can use mp of 7 equals to true. This will store 7 uh, as a key in this map. For lookup, we can simply use we can is present equals to mp of whatever element you want to see, and is present equals to mp of 7. If it is present, it will give the value true, so it is present will become true. And let's suppose we are looking for element that is not present. Let's suppose mp of 5. Here if we use mp of 5, then it will return false. So in that case, is present will be false. Now all of these operation uh, is done in O of 1 complexity, amortized O of 1. And like in the worst case, you don't have to think about that now. When you are reading unordered map in detail, you will learn that. So now we have this magical data structure. We can again think of our problem. So what we'll do, we will first run a loop and will store each element in the array in the map. So stn plus plus. For here this case, we need unordered map of int comma int. Why? Because we not only want that element is present, but we also want its indices, right? Its index. So here we will make an unordered map. I am using UNO for simplicity. Unordered map of int comma int, right? So we'll map of nums of I equal to I I, yeah, I. Let's make it I plus 1. Why I'm using I plus 1? Because if mm, you are looking for an element or key inside a map, you will get 0 if it is not present. Otherwise, so I'm trying to avoid 0 here. So I'm adding I plus 1. There is other way where we can avoid that. We can use mp.find or mp.count, which will tell whether this element is inserted at any time or not. But let's go ahead with this only. So what I have done, I have declared an unordered map of int comma int, and I have stored all the element with the I plus 1 as value and nums of I as the key. Now we will run a loop again for I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and what's the current number? Current number x equals to nums of I. And what do we want to achieve? We want whether there exists a number which sum equals to there exists a number y such that the sum of x and y is equals to target. So now we'll check whether it is present or not. So we'll try to find an index j in MP of y. Now if MP y is present in the array, in the map, then it will return a positive value, otherwise it will return 0. So if j equals to 0, then we'll continue. Otherwise, we know that one index is I and other index is j minus 1 because we incremented the index while storing the map here. Okay. So we will return I comma j minus 1, and finally here we will return minus 1 comma minus 1 if we can't find anything. Right. Now let's go with the code. First, I'm using a boilerplate to include this. I'll make it very simple. Here, this is a global header you can use everywhere. And now let's go ahead. First, we have a number of elements. Let's take the same example. 7163. So we have 4 elements and 716 and 3. And what's our target? Target is, let's first take target as 4, right? In this case, what will our answer? 1 comma 0 1 2 3, right? Now take the array as input. So vector int vector, and I have declared a vector of size n, and I am going to take vector as input. Right now I will declare an unordered map, which I already told, unordered map of int comma int, and I'm going to name it as np. Now I will run a loop and I will store all the element as key and its index plus 1 as value. Same. Now I'll run again and I will our x will be v of I, and we want y as target. Oh, I have forgot to take a target as input. Target C in target. Right now this is our input part. From here we are writing logic. Right now int x equals to target minus x. Now int j equals to mp of y. Now if j equals to 0, this means it is not present, so we will continue. Otherwise, if it is present, then we know that we got the other answer, so we'll return I comma j minus 1 because we have increased the value of j. I mean we'll output that cout I and j minus 1, and we'll return from here, return 0. Otherwise we will output -1 comma -1 if we can't find anything. Let's run our code. Yeah, it's passed, and we can check other test case also, but for now you can write it by your own and try to come up with a more test case and try to modify the problem if we can't pick duplicate elements here. I mean, in the case of 12 I'm getting 2 comma 2 2 comma 2, so you can modify the problem that I can't take duplicate index. In that case you have to return -1 and -1 if it not present. You can modify and code. Thank you, and in the next video I will try to come up with good interview questions, and I will give some tips also. Thank you.